All right, this is a quarantined virtual bow on the go stop. I've got Linda from Dazzle Home Staging Company, and I want to welcome you to this moment that we can actually tell the world what you do if they don't know about it, and also give them some ideas of if they're selling a home that you are the person to go to. And I've got a question for my wife that she told me I had to ask you, but I'll get to that in a second. But how are you, Linda? You doing okay?
Well, doing well. Yes, all things considered, hanging in there. I'm healthy. My family's healthy. What more can you ask for, right now? So it's
That's
all is
fantastic.
well.
That's fantastic. Well, so home staging, in a nutshell, it is what?
Gosh, well, home staging is really just making a house beautiful. It's taking a house that is empty. In our business, we deal with vacant homes only. So we're taking homes that no one's living in, that someone's moved out of, or if they've relocated. And we bring in furniture and accessories and artwork, and we make it look lived in and beautiful. And we sort of breathe life into empty spaces, is what we like to say.
I think it's smart because, when my wife and I found the home we're in right now, we looked at 50 homes in 5 days. And this was the second of 50 homes that we looked at. We kept comparing and comparing. And ironically, this home actually had furniture and stuff in it when we actually looked at it. But when you go into an empty, walked into so many empty homes, and it was just like there's nothing. It just You can't even picture your own items in there, and heck, I probably wouldn't want my own items in there. But that's where you come in. I was on your Facebook page, and it looks like you've got a serious team of movers and people that work with you. How big is your company?
So we have 11 employees. We actually had up to 13 at one time. So we are a powerhouse, though. We do a lot of work with our small team. We are kind of small but mighty.
And
And
and I'm sorry. Do you do the whole home, or is it whatever the customer's looking for? Just stage the kitchen, stage the dining room, and the living room. Or and on one of the photos on your Facebook page, I actually noticed there was a ping pong table in the basement. I was like, well, that's pretty smart.
right, yeah, anything to make a home inviting. Like if you're going to play ping pong in this area, you have to tell people this is where you play ping pong, or this is where you sit and have your coffee in the morning, or this is the nook where you're going to sit down and read a book. And so we just kind of tell stories with staging. That's really what we do, is kind of just depict how the home is actually going to function and be lived in a practical sense. And when people walk into a home that's empty, it can just feel, like you said, sterile, and people have a hard time envisioning where
Mhm.
they're going to put their sofa. Is their king size bed going to fit in this bedroom? So it eliminates a lot of doubts and questions. And one thing you never want a buyer to have in their mind when they're viewing a home is doubt, or uncertainty. So we kind of clarify that with them and make the home feel warm and inviting, and like a place where they would want to live and call home.
Now, is your main communication with your customers, is it through real estate agents, or is it personal homeowners that contact you and say, okay, we're trying to sell our home through this agent, but we need help and we come to you? Is that how it works?
Yeah, right. It's a mix of both. We work with a lot of realtors. We work with homeowners directly. We also work with investors and a lot of home builders as well. We're doing spec homes
Oh,
and
yeah.
displays, and many times people have relocated and they've tried putting their home on the market and they haven't had luck, so they'll contact us and say, what we're doing isn't working. Can we try this staging thing? We're not familiar with it, but tell us how it works. And so we deal with, kind of anyone who's in that world of needing to sell a house that's sitting empty.
Well, it's got to be a certain talent, and it must come naturally to you because the pictures that I saw were just gorgeous. Do you have other stagers or other influence, other home decor people, or is it just your decisions?
No, I actually have a team now. I no longer stage much myself. In the beginning, I wore a lot of hats. I was the person who answered the phone and was the marketing, the sales, the installer, all of that. But today I have three stagers. Two are interior designers that work for us. And I have, a lot of talented people. They are very creative. They do very well. And we try to, I guess my job as the business owner now is just to give them the best tools and inventory that they can have to work with.
Well, my wife has a chair addiction. I will tell you that. She has bought so many chairs. We're heavy on chairs, and it's just the two of us. It's kind of crazy. So if you need chairs, let me know. Kidding.
Always have a place to sit.
Right. Do you have like inventory that your customers can pick out, or a style or a feel? I mean, my wife's a mid-century modern fan. Do you just run the gamut?
We really do. We have, at any given time, we have around 100 homes staged. So we have furniture
What?
that, yeah,
You
it's a
have a
lot.
furniture addiction too, I bet.
I have a lot of chairs too. So if your wife want to talk, just give her my number.
Okay. So you have 100 homes staged at any given time, or you have the ability to. How in the
At
world do you
any
keep
given time.
track of? How do you keep track of all that?
It's, there's this thing called a cell phone and Dropbox and pictures. It really, uh, yeah, we keep a list. We keep statistics on all the homes that sell. So yeah, we know when they've been staged, how many days they're on the market, when they go under contract, and when we need to go out and get the furniture picked up.
For those that see this video, can you speak to the return on investment of staging? I'm sure you have that information, because if I'm trying to sell a home and it's maybe stuck, or we're not getting a lot of bids or offers or anything like that, do you have the data to share just generally with the listeners or the viewers to talk about that? Because I would think that mowing your grass, making sure the landscape looks fine, there's a return on that. But in the home, you don't even think about. I didn't think about that.
Absolutely. And I think you used a key word, saying that it is an investment. It's not really an expense. So the things that you do to your home when you go to sell it, I mean, let's face it, nobody wants to spend money on a house that they're trying to sell, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Especially if you have two homes and you've already moved out and you're wanting to furnish your new home and paint and whatever. That's where your focus is. So everyone that moves is typically, for the most part, they've kind of lost interest in the house that they're wanting to sell, and they don't really see it as somewhere, a place where they want to put their dollars. But it really is such a good investment in just doing the basics. Even just if it's a lived-in home, which we don't actually personally handle, but remove all of your personal pictures and get rid of all the junk. Put a coat of paint on it. Make it feel fresh and inviting, so that someone can come in and envision it as their home, because no one wants to feel like they're living with the remnants of someone else's space. So we always recommend just neutralizing the home. You put a great coat of paint on it, do the updates, fix those things that need to be broken, and or fix the things that are broken that need to be
Right.
tended to, that you've put off. And staging, because it really it just makes such a difference. Most people are looking online today for a home, so having beautiful pictures online is what really draws people in. It drives traffic to the listing, and ultimately, that's what gets the sale.
Well, as I was looking on your pictures on the Facebook page, which looks fantastic, by the way, I was seeing all the furnishings, and just like the room you're in right now, this is one of your staged homes that you're in. Uh,
This
do you ever get the buyers that offer to purchase the items in there?
all the time. It happens all the time. People come in because, I mean, if you think about it, we find the perfect pieces for the perfect space,
Yeah.
so we've already done the thinking for them. We've put it out there, and, you have a fresh new home. Why not start with fresh furniture that looks great in the space? So we get asked that all the time. And sometimes people will buy a room of furniture. Sometimes it's a piece of artwork or some accessories that they fall in love with. And sometimes people have purchased everything as it
We,
sits.
we've been on vacation, and my wife's like, I love that ottoman, or I love that chair. That's her thing. But yeah, so it is possible. It is possible. If somebody absolutely has to have that dining room set behind you, you can cut that deal.
Everything's for sale.
Isn't that true? That's great. Well, my wife's question is, and I think you've already answered it, is she saw your page too on Facebook, and she's like, will she come here and stage our home? But that's not the business you're in.
We don't know. We have our hands full with just, in our own wheelhouse of staging homes for sale. We get asked that quite often, as you can imagine, but Maybe someday, but right now we just focus on the homes that are on the market for sale.
I'm sorry, I promised I would ask. um, so the best place people can get the best example other than Facebook would be your website.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a full gallery of, examples of homes that we've staged, and it explains our services and kind of tells a little bit about who we are and what we do.
Okay, and so with whether it's a private homeowner that's trying to sell or a real estate agent that's seeing this, they just contact you, dazzlehomestaging.com, correct?
That's correct.
Well, you do beautiful work. Is your background home decor? Is that where it all began, or did you just have a knack for it?
No, I've always had a passion for it. I've been kind of an HGTV junkie my entire life, and every every home I've ever lived in, I've stripped from the top down and refurnished. So I sort of got the kinks out in the first half of my life with experimenting with my own homes, and it's just a passion, and it's something I guess I was sort of gifted with, is the ability to kind of I have an eye for it,
Yeah.
and personally I think it's something that really it's hard to train someone to do this. It's more of an art than a science.
It truly is. It really is. Well, we're addicted to HGTV as well, but I can probably guess that these staging projects don't take 30 minutes or less, like on the TV shows. But your crews come in, and how far out are you booking, or are you taking new customers all the time?
We're always taking new customers. We try to always get to something within a week. Sometimes in the springtime when we're super busy, it might be a week and a half, but typically we can get to anything in about a week.
Wow.
And our turnaround is not 30 minutes, despite what the TV shows indicate. But we normally can do a turnaround in 24 hours. So it's pretty amazing that we can furnish an entire home from top to bottom in 24 hours or less and have it ready for market.
And so when people want to pick out the items that they want in their home, or do you just say we'll take care of it, or do you have a showroom?
It's something that we ask, that, people leave up to us, because we have that experience of knowing what buyers like.
Right.
And we do, like I said, we try to customize to the home if it's a historical home, or if it's, in your case, like a mid-century modern, that are the bones of the home and the style. And then we take the furnishings and try to just identify, kind of match those two together.
Well, what a great business! And you said you've been in business since 2008. You went through that, and you survived that, and you've thrived. So congratulations, and good luck on continuing to manage your team, your huge team. And I think we've got everything. Do you think we've mentioned everything you want to?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are happy to work with anyone who has a house to sell, even, even in a tough market. Like you mentioned, we started in 2008, and that was a tough time to sell a house, and we hit the ground running. And I think today's climate is not much different. If someone has a home to sell, it's just a matter of getting attention, whether there's more buyers or fewer buyers. You want your home to be the house that people are attracted to and actually want to buy. So
Yeah.
whatever market efforts you can do to make that happen are definitely worthwhile.
I can't. I just pictured Chuck and Joanna Gaines and their big reveal. The homeowners get to see the reveal of what you've done, and I bet they're just amazed.
It takes their breath away a lot of times. A lot of times we hear that people want to move back in.
Oh
So
no!
that's it. We're not selling. We love it.
I've seen that show too, Flip or Flop or whatever that thing's called. I don't know. I watch them all. Well, Linda, it is a pleasure to speak to you and to meet you. And thanks for doing this. And we want to get this out. And maybe someday we can meet in person. We can actually do a video like in one of your staged homes. By the way, the ceiling in that house is amazing.
This home is beautiful. It's under contract. Unfortunately, it's no longer for sale, but yeah, it's a beautiful home. And that's, I think, the best part of my job is getting to see all different homes in all different areas. And you can actually call it home for about 24 hours. So that's
Yeah.
always fun.
So really, as I was talking with Emily, she was saying that, the perceived value of a home that is beautiful and decorated and set up like you guys do is worth the investment. Is every home different, or do you have a range of it? Is it 2,000 to 20,000, or do you want to talk about that, or should we just have the people just call?
Sure. No, we start, we stage entry level homes anything from, you know, even 75,000 up to $6 million homes. So there's a wide range there. And I think the value to each home is different. I think when you have a small home, it can really just help to make it feel charming and cozy. And sometimes even the smallest little homes get sometimes the biggest boost for the money spent, and it's a great value. Sometimes smaller homes feel small, so people walk through and they think, oh gosh, you know, this place is too small, I'll never be able to live here. But by using the proper scale furnishings, and just, you know, just the right touch to it, it can make a big difference and make it look really
Absolutely. It's
adorable.
so good, people may want to buy their home back or not put it on the market. Anyway, Linda, it's a pleasure to meet you. Let's meet in person after this whole quarantining thing is over. And I wish you continued good luck. Okay.
Well, thanks so much. The pleasure was all mine, Bo.
Thank
I
you so much. We'll talk
you.
soon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.